Well, yeah, the Yankees suck right now, obviously. They had a two-run home run in the first inning. Aaron Judge hit a home run, and then, it looked like we would cruise our way to victory, but no, no, no. It's 11 to fucking 5 right now, and this team fucking sucks. And this team is a fucking joke. But you know what? At least I'm not watching that other crap game. That other NBA Finals game, man, that game's a joke. They don't even put the Larry O'Brien trophy on the logo. They don't even put the NBA Finals logo on the court. It feels like a regular season game. They do a lot better with the NBA Cup, putting out a good artwork on the court. And it's a joke. They don't even present the court well for an NBA Finals. The court should have the Larry O'Brien trophy on it. Everything is terrible about the finals. The finals is awful. The teams are garbage. They manufacture overhyped Tyrese Halliburton. Why else would his team come back from 9 points with 3 minutes left to go? Twice against the Pacers and against, game one the last time. We all know the Thunder would be up 2-0. We all know this is a one-sided NBA Finals. We all know the Pacers have zero chance. We all know that was nothing but a bunch of crap. The last 2-3 minutes of the Finals was literally a bunch of crap because it was all staged and manufactured so the NBA could try to manipulate and increase the viewership for these next few games. But you know what? I'm not a mug. I know this game is a blowout tonight. I know they had zero chance. I knew the Thunder would win. I knew this was yet another terrible matchup. This is a terrible matchup where it's not even the best two teams in the finals. It's one-sided BS garbage matchups. And I agree with the poll. I think the biggest disaster was the Nuggets against the Heat. That was among the worst matchups out there. Just short of the fence. It's 11-5. Oh, I really hope it was 11-7. Oh, fuck this game. Seriously. It's time for the commissioner to give the fans what they want. He's not giving the fans what they ultimately want. They're not giving us entertaining championship series all the way to the game 6, game 7 with arguably there's no contest that these are in fact the best two teams in basketball. We haven't had this for close to 3 years. 2022. Now that was a series. The Celtics are up 2-1. Everybody said the Celtics were going to shut these bums out the door. Oops. Tied 2-2, and then 3-2, and then boom. They, in fact, came back from the deficit to win. They got the wins that they needed at Boston. You call the game 4 and the game 6, and now that was an NBA Finals. Even the loser Phoenix Suns against the Bucks, it was 2-0. It's 2-2. It's okay. Now we hit the 2-1 home run. Great Jorginho with another home run. Great Jorginho, but you guys are still crap, and it's still 11-7. It's only 11-7. Great Jorginho over the NBA Finals. 2-1 home run first inning, 2-1 home run tonight. He just hit a 2-1 home run again. When this team sucks, it's always worth it to watch great Jorginho. Both of his home runs were opposite field home runs. Just the pure strength of that guy. His 22nd and 23rd home runs of the season. But anyway, back to the point. This was completely one-sided. This matchup is terrible. I don't think I even watched the games at Indiana. If this series not rigged, it's Thunder winning 5 games. But some way, somehow, this commissioner is going to manipulate this crap matchup by telling the Thunder to sell one of these games at Indiana. That's what they'll probably do. Hopefully for the Thunder fans, they bring it back to Indiana and they win the championship. We'll see about that. But after such a sequence of events that we saw in game one, you get the feeling that basically they're doing everything they can to keep that series from ending in five. I think they're worried about the ratings. Some way, somehow, I would guess that the Thunder are going to sell one of these next two games because the numbers are terrible. As a matter of fact, it was the lowest rated game one in 18 years. It was game one was down 19% from last year. 19% down from last year because this is a crap matchup that doesn't have any hype or drama whatsoever. Who cares? You get your gay ass game one win, you still lose in 5-6. It doesn't mean nothing at the end of the day. What? It could be a gentleman's sweep instead of a 4-game sweep. What? Oh, all that. Just so it all ends in 6. Game 7, Indiana not winning in game 7. Forget about game 7. Next game 7 is going to involve GOAT King LeBron James. We haven't had a game 7 since 2016. We've had game 6 between losers, Suns, and Bucks in Warriors Celtics. We get the next game 7. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we don't get game 7 next year, and we want this finals to end right before the start of the World Cup on June the 11th. We'll see about that. The game 2 numbers. What are the final figures? The day of rest, Sunday, what are the game 2 figures going to be? Is it going to spell further ratings disaster? I only have the baseball game on. Jorginho, AL MVP 22, AL MVP 24, led AL in both categories, home runs, OPS when injured. Odds to win MVP is minus 4,000 2025. Yeah, he's on a tear. He's on a whole other level. Great Jorginho over this disastrous crap NBA Finals. We'll see what we can do. 1 out and a runner on first. Can we come back and win? Sunday Night Baseball beats this boring-ass NBA Finals game. Has the game ended yet? Has the Finals game ended? I'm sure everybody stopped watching when it was up by 20 points. How many people are still watching the Finals game? How are the fourth quarter ratings? How are the ratings throughout the whole game? How are the ratings doing? What's the average viewer through the entire duration of the game? Crap matchup. Crap. Who even watched the third quarter? Who'd even watch the third quarter when you see that it's 41 to 59 at the half, right? It was long over. What a boring game. Seriously, they need to give the fans what they want. They want far better matchups than this pile of garbage they serve us. Super Bowl, let's start off with the top 3 contenders that I have for each conference. So the NFC, it's Lions and Packers, and I don't see anyone else other than the Eagles. So Eagles will wind up my top 3. The AFC is the top contenders are the Bills, the Bengals, and the Ravens. The Chiefs are out of the equation. But JD Vance is a Bengals fan from Ohio, and before the midterms, Bengals got to get it done. We got to see the Lion-Cat matchup in the Super Bowl. That just, it made more sense to have the Lions and the Cat Tiger Super Bowl instead of just, oh, they're not going to make it 2 years in a row or whatever. Have them against the Chiefs, and then Lions Chiefs, then the Cat Tiger Super Bowl goes away. So now that the Lions failed to win the conference last year, I believe now that we in fact do get the Cat versus Tiger Super Bowl. That is going to be a very, very compelling matchup that we will see happen at the end of the day. Bengals are 18-1, but I don't know how many people going to go at Cincinnati after what has been happening with Trey Hendrickson. Oh, he walked him. He struck out and then he walked him. Oh, great. Hopefully a home run makes 11-10, hopefully. That was inside pitch, and he hits it opposite field. I just inside the strike zone. You're typically thinking pull it. You're pulling the ball to the left. Typically, when it's outside the strike zone, you want to pull it the other way. I don't know how great Jorginho does it. I believe the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl when they move into the Highmark Stadium. So he's from Southern Cal. So Super Bowl 61, I think, is the year for the Bills. I'm not ruling out the Bills for Super Bowl 60, but I got them winning Super Bowl 61. The range for the Bills is 60 to 62. So for the first time ever this season, the Bills are going to have an opportunity to get over the hump. I think we see no Chiefs in the conference title game this year. I think everyone's tired of them, and NFL they'll end the three-peat narrative, and this will mean that they allow the door to open for Lamar and Burrow and Allen and maybe Herbert to battle for the Super Bowl in between the time that the Chiefs are going to go through a transition period, and transition period is happening when Chris Jones is getting older and Travis Kelce's getting older. So, he twisted his ankle, stepping on the back. Aroldis Chapman, man, this guy can't even control any pitch he throws, man. He's wild. Hopefully we get a run off of this guy. Josh Allen, I think, is from Southern Cal. So Josh Allen, I got winning the Super Bowl at Los Angeles. Josh Allen's 37, Los Angeles 37. I don't know if it's Joshua Allen. Yeah, yes it is. Yes, it is. Let me open up the calculator. So, come on, check out there. This is just the homepage. That video was like 25 minutes long, if I'm mistaken. This is why the Bills cannot make it this year. Josh Allen's 33. Bills' last appearance was in Super Bowl 28. So the Bills are going to make the Super Bowl 33 years into the future. 33 years into the future is when the Bills make it back into the big game. 33 years into the future. That's when they're going to win. That's when their time has come. 33 years after Super Bowl 28. Buffalo, it's Camacho, Santa Clara. This could mean it's a trap. This could mean that, they win the following Super Bowl after the Super Bowl at Santa Clara. They just happen to win the following Super Bowl, and instead we have a situation where Cincy's going to win the Super Bowl instead, and the Bengals are going to be the upset pick. Josh Allen never beat Mahomes. But you know who did beat him? Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. Bengals got to beat the Chiefs to win the AFC, don't they? They got to beat Kansas City. They're barking and herping and chirping at each other, certainly, after the end of the regular season. And they said that, you were too chicken to play us by this Chiefs starters sitting out, and they lose the final game, and the Chiefs give the playoff spot to the Broncos. And then the Bengals are herping and chirping that you're too scared to play us. So, and I think that will open the door for the Bengals to beat the Chiefs next year. So I haven't forgotten about Week 18 whatsoever. What has been said between the Bengals and Travis Kelce saying that's a bunch of bullshit. We're not scared of you or whatever. So there is some fuel to the fire, and I think Burrow got to be the guy that's going to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. I think they could be one and done. I think Chiefs could be one and done against the Bengals. So Burrow going to come in and make it Burrowville again, a Burrowhead, because Burrow is 5-2 in the playoffs. So, and that's what's going to happen right there. 6-2, 7-2, 8-2, and he'll be 9-2. He's number 9. He's going to the Super Bowl for his ninth playoff win. 9-2. On the NFC side, the Packers. Wow, I can't believe it. Are they really 3-6 NFC Championship games? So it's because of the Aaron Rodgers years. I said in the video. Slide. He had the richest contract. Huey P. Newton, Black Panther Party. So this black quarterback on the NFC. Hard to ignore him, but the Packers are 3-6 in conference title games. If they're 4-6 in conference title games, then they'll be 4-6 like Camacho Levi Stadium. So that's something that comes to mind when I think about the Packers. If we have Packers Lions in the NFC Championship game in Detroit, Camacho 37, I could see Packers Lions in the championship game. I could see one of the either one of the Packers or the Lions beating the Eagles next year. Packers, they could be 4-6 like Levi's Stadium, like 46. So Packers have to be in the top 3 of the equation. The Lions could be 1-2 in NFC Championship games, and basically if they're 1-2 NFC title games, and they could set up a meeting. There are 2 teams who haven't won a Super Bowl. America's most lovable losers, Detroit Lions, and in the best quarterback in the game, Joe Burrow. Why can't the gay-ass NFL gives us this Tiger Cat Bowl, and this 2 teams haven't won a title in forever, if ever? Why can't they give us the Bengals and the Lions Super Bowl? Why can't they give us Bengals-Lions Super Bowl? But yeah, I think on the 5-way parlay, I believe you got Lakers and into Miami, and one of them will have baseball, one of them will have World Cup, and one of them has Lions, one of them has Packers, one of them has Bengals, and one of them has Bills. Rams have 0 chance. This guy's retiring. The NFL's got an agenda for the Cardinals. There's no, basically, they want them to be in the playoffs. Why did they give them the Saints without a quarterback in week 1? They don't waste a home game on the Saints. They play the Saints on the road. The NFL planning something big for the Cardinals this year. There's no other reason why. You play week one, you waste the road. You don't waste a home game on the Saints. You play a team without a quarterback on the road, and you play them in week one. The Cardinals are going to make the playoffs. The Rams are going to miss the playoffs. Vikings will miss the playoffs. Rams will miss the playoffs. Broncos will probably miss the playoffs. Cowboys won't make the playoffs. You got to have paper over cracks. So they probably will beat the Giants, but they'll probably lose against the Giants later on in the season anyway. Aaron Rodgers can expose the Jets in week one, but Aaron Rodgers can fall apart mid-season, late season. Gotta hype up Aaron Rodgers in the Steelers defense, so Steelers win game one. Jets are an eternal joke. Aaron Rodgers was never the problem. This sets up the scripted drama in the AFC North between Rodgers and Burrow and Rodgers and Lamar Jackson in the Steelers defense against the Raven defense, against improved Bengal defense. But Aaron Rodgers is going to miss the playoffs. This guy could get an injury. There's a guy who gets injured every year at quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is one of the prime contestants to be the guy who's going to suffer the injury. Fake injury or not. Some guys will get injuries and miss the year, the rest of the season. Aaron Rodgers is a prime candidate. This 40-year-old guy in the AFC North, my God, this guy is definitely going to get an injury. What was the final score for the game? I saw it. The Pacers is 41. They scored 41 points in the first half. Okay. The Thunder's under 23. They win with under 23 points. NBA Finals is under 11. The Pacers won with 100. Scripted crap. This scripted garbage. Oh, what a crap! This game was crap. How many points did Gilgeous Alexander score? Halliburton sucks. 14 points and 17 points. He's overrated. A rigged game. 34 points. Indiana's 34. Yep. I miss nothing. His point total was rigged. Ratings are a disaster. We'll find out tomorrow the game 2 figures. Well, that's just AI overview. They can't really have reported this right away. This got to be some AI made up crap. Hey, you read it? NBA talk, lowest rated finals game since. Yeah, we can't excluding COVID years. 2007, the lowest. I'll come back to that topic tomorrow. I'm going to come back to that topic. What? Oh, this is Celtics Mavs. Okay, it said 2025, but AI was referencing last year, so we'll find out about the numbers tomorrow. But third quarter must have been some crap ratings during the third quarter. If they were down by 18 points, and NBA not going to have OKC lose this game. So these are some garbage ratings. Garbage. Joe Burrow threw 60 touchdown passes with LSU in that national championship year. Super Bowl 60 is his year. Bengals is 60. The Bengals is 39. 39th day of the year, February the 8th, 2-8. Joseph 28. Bengals winning the Super Bowl next year. Bengals going to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. The Bengals going to beat the Chiefs. The Bengals are going to beat the Chiefs. Let's go to AFC Championship game. I mean, if Burrow's 5-2 in the playoffs, the NFL scripts the Bengals season, so Burrow doesn't lose in the playoffs, and it goes against his playoff record. But instead he's 5-2. That's why when he makes it to the playoffs, he's going to win this time. Yeah, Bengals 4-1 the AFC title game. Super Bowl's 41. When the Bengals do make it to the AFC championship game, they're not losing 2 AFC championship games with Burrow. When they do make it to the AFC championship game, they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. The Bay Area, the Bay Area is 26. So when you include the Bay Area is Gamache of 41. So Cincinnati's going to be 4-1 the AFC championship game. And yes, they will be on the road again. If the Ravens lose the AFC Championship game, they'll fall to 2-4. In conference championship games, they could lose against the Bengals. Bengals is 20. Baltimore is 41 too. So I think, and I know I talked about this because Ravens can have a big year again. Lamar Jackson is going to beat Burrow in the regular season. But in the playoff, it don't matter no more. He's not beating Lamar. He's not beating Burrow in the playoffs. Lamar's a choke artist. Bengals is 24. Ravens fall to 2-4 in the conference title game. Because Joe Burrow getting the win. I can see the Bills losing the AFC Championship game. They could fall to 4-4, and Allen is 44. They could win next year's AFC Championship game, Super Bowl 61, to go to 5-4, like Gamache of Inglewood, CA. So yeah, Bills. The coding for the Bills will show that they will lose the conference title game, but in Bay Area is 53, and they could go for 5-3 in the AFC title game. So overall, you can't discount the Buffalo Bills, and it looks like the numbers favor the Bills and the Bengals. That's the top 2 teams to make it to San Francisco, to Santa Clara specifically. Let's go to Lamar. Lamar's a choke artist. Lamar, choke artist. Basically, Lamar's going to win his first playoff game because Lamar is 45. He's 3-5. He'll be 4-5. But the 4-6 is working against him because Levi's Stadium is 46. So if the Ravens do get the number 1 seed, they'll be 4-5 in the playoffs with Lamar. They're going to fall to 4-6, and that is going to spell trouble for the Baltimore Ravens yet again. Certain key guys leaving. Mark Andrews dropping the ball. Lamar fumbling the ball. 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He averages close to an interception per playoff game. This don't get it done. 7 fumbles in 8 playoff games for Lamar Jackson. Bottom line is this dude ain't championship material. I agree. I still like Lakers over Celtics, but it don't matter the opponent. The Lakers taking the ship 7 for 7, 7 different champions, 77 months later. Number 77 wins the championship 77 months after the death of Kobe. It is the biggest lock ever in the history of the planet Earth. And I'm winning the championship next year. Lakers are winning the championship. Go Keenan Bond winning the championship. I'm winning the championship next year. And I'm winning the championship next year. With Go Keenan Bond. We winning the championship all the way. All the way. All the way. I'm a champion, you a champion, we a champion, we getting it done. Third goofball. Goofball sold the game against Washington. That was the intended wide receiver. That Washington defensive back was the intended receiver. Jared Goff will enter the Super Bowl with a 7-5 record by winning all 3 games. City of Santa Clara 75. The City of Santa Clara 70. When you include the, it turns into 75. So 7-5 playoff record. But you see, these people are just getting our butt hurt. They'll never pick the Lions now because they're still angry at the Lions. Oh, you bunch of losers! I bet you to win the Super Bowl, and I'll never bet on you losers again. Yeah, you can't think like that, man. You can't think like that. That's a big no-no. That's a big no-no. 18 players on injured reserve. They're not going to have 18 players on injured reserve. They'll field far more than just a semi-competent defense. Plus, you're going to have Hutchinson in the equation. Everybody turning against the Lions, man, you're dipping out too quick. You're dipping out too quick. If there's anyone that can come back, it's America's underdog, Dan Campbell. Everyone felt so bad for Dan Campbell in the presser, but he gonna get it done. They take a stab wound in the city of Detroit. They come fighting back. That's Motown. That's Detroit. They get done. They win the NFC during the Super Bowl. Any reason to be concerned about the Bengals being 16-1 or whatever to win the Super Bowl? Well, after what we saw with the Warriors at double digits and the Lakers at double digits, and I think the Cavs are at double digits, there's reason to be concerned about that. But never say never. They could always adjust the price. I know Burrow always struggles against the Browns, but they're not losing against the Clowns in week 1. They're not losing. This not going to be like New England last year. They not losing in game 1 of the season. Eagles are going to destroy the Cowboys. They're going to destroy the Cowboys because it means that the game against the Giants becomes more interesting. A Cowboys team getting destroyed against a New York Giants team with a different quarterback. The Cowboys getting destroyed makes their game against the Giants more interested. So the Eagles are going to come out with a big week 1 win over the Cowboys. It's going to be by double digits. So if the line was 7 points, then they're going to win big. That Chiefs Chargers, yeah, this one could be 50-50. In my view, this could be a game where the Chiefs are still hungover. I get the feeling the Chargers have something to prove at home. I believe they were close to beating them at Arrowhead. So Chiefs are hungover. They played like garbage. You know, the Chiefs, Inter Milan in the Champions League final. How do you handle that? So this could be a recipe for a Chargers upset. Anthony Richardson, he must be injured. I don't know what's going on with these guys, Dolphins and the Colts. But as far as the other game is concerned, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are going to completely beat the Jets. This team knows, they know Justin Fields. And the Steelers ain't got no respect for Justin Fields, and they're probably right that he sucks. In the Jets, well, they're the Jets. They don't know any better. There's a reason why the Steelers got rid of him. So Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, they destroy the Jets week 1. I go, come on, Dan! Make the Celtics cinematic TV. Not this ain't cinematic at all. This is look at this fraud, Tyrese Halliburton. 17 point, 14 point. You're a fraud out there. It's obvious that Thunder have too much options defensively to throw at Tyrese Halliburton. They too much for Halliburton. They too much for the Pacers. Now, Panthers, Jaguars, this is a comeback year for the Jags. The Jags have lost the most games by 1 possession than any team out there. If the Jags are at home, and Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback, the Jags will beat the Panthers week 1. Lots of close games. They're not going to lose that many close games this time around. The Saints are known as a team without a quarterback tanking for Arch Manning. Cardinals must be the lock of week 1. I think Cardinals will beat the Panthers, but they'll lose against San Francisco week 3, unfortunately. But I think 49ers and Cardinals will be both 2-0 when they face off week 3. But I'm going San Francisco to beat my Cards in week 3. Commanders get an easy win over the Giants, I presume. Falcons ain't got a quarterback. The Bucs should win that game. Raiders, Patriots. Pete Carroll got to get on the W with the win. He used to coach the Patriots too. Raiders have a good defense. They're up against Drake May. Crosby wanted to stay. Raiders have Pete Carroll. Raiders get the win against the Pats week 1. If the Texans' offensive line's not banged up, I can see Texans beating the Rams week 1. Who was it that was going to retire? One of those wide receivers on the Rams. I forgot. Now, this Raven-Bill game, this one is a coin flip. This one could go either way. I haven't looked into these 2 games. The Lions and the Packers and the Ravens and the Bills. However, if the Lions lose against the Packers, are the Lions going to lose? Are they going to fall apart? Let's go to Lamar quickly. How many wins and losses? He could get a 74th win against Josh Allen. Josh Allen 74. If I'm saying about the Ravens is true, that they're going to be overhyped. I'll go Ravens week 1 because Lamar is oversold. People start jumping on the Ravens like 2 years ago. Ravens week 1. But at this point, the Ravens are a regular season team. So they beat Buffalo. They won big in the regular season like last year. But again, it's the same old story in the postseason if you are the Baltimore Ravens. Let me go to Jared Goff. I'd be tempted to go Packers for week 1. Goff is 81-52 in the regular season. I think Green Bay Packers in abbreviations is 82. I know I've done it before, but play Chicago, I think the week 2. Lions play the Ravens week 3. Wow. So could Lamar go for a 76 win of his career against the Detroit Lions? Detroit Lions is 76, so the Ravens go 2-0 to begin the season. I like Ravens. I think they'll be going. Lamar is going to go for a 76 win overall of his career against the Detroit Lions prime time. And they're beating the Browns. Yeah, they'll be 2-0. Ha! Ravens Chiefs. Chiefs by itself is 31. So are they 3-1 before or after that Kansas City game? So Lions could be 2-0 entering the Ravens. Lions Bengals play October 5th. Lions will probably start 5-1. And if they start 5-1, they've got games against the Bengals and the Ravens and the Packers in the Chiefs. Could the Lions enter the game at Kansas City with a 5-0 record, and Kansas City is 50 and Cincinnati's 51? So ultimately, when I'm looking at it, I'm probably going to go Lions week 1. This makes me, but this makes me inclined to go with Lions week 1. If they win their first 5 games, they could enter Kansas City with a 5-0 record. San Francisco's 50, Kansas City's 50. So this is where I like Detroit over Green Bay. I go Detroit over Green Bay in week 1 based off of the future schedule sequence. Although I would say I need further review for the Bills Ravens game. But they should be 5-1. The Detroit Lions is 61 too. Lions will probably lose the game against the Eagles. But they beat them in the regular season. They can't beat them in the playoffs. So I got the Eagles beating the Lions November 16th. Because, again, Lions got to somehow be an underdog. So is it same old, same old, same old? Well, the Lions is Gamache 39. It's Matt LaFleur, 33 losses in the regular season, 5 in the postseason. He could lose his 39th game against the Lions. So overall, I'm going to look at I'm going to ignore the playoffs. I'm going to go the Lions to win yet again against the Pack. And that Packers Steelers matchup suddenly becomes, yeah, fact. I'll go Packers to beat the Commanders. This guy gets too much hype. They talk like this guy is Tom Brady or something. Like pipe down, pipe down, pipe down, pipe down quickly. The Bengals play the Packers. They play the Lions this year. One of these games will be a Super Bowl game. I think Lions have to beat the Bengals in the regular season. Surely the Lions have to beat the Bengals in the regular season. Surely. I think once we see the outcomes of these Bengals, Packers, Bengals, Lions games, we'll have a better indicator what the matchup's going to be. So I got to go Lions over Bengals when the two teams played. So Cardinals 2-0, San Francisco 2-0, got an NFC West battle, week 3. We could have Lions and Ravens undefeated, Super Bowl matchup, we be hyping, week 3. Potential 5-0 for the Lions for playing Kansas City, and Kansas City gets upset this time. Chiefs are struggling, but then they get a win to get back on track against the Lions. These kind of things is what makes the season scripted. Our Chiefs are going to go downhill. They really need a win. Oh, they beat the Lions. Oh, now they're back on track. You see, this is a crazy, crazy league. I think I'll stay away from the Texans Rams game. I think I'll go Ravens win. Vikings Bears. The Vikings lost their quarterback. I don't even know who their quarterback is. You see, the Bears are 1-0 and the Lions are 1-0. They've got their former offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. His team is 1-0. Lions are 1-0. Bears are going to take it on Monday Night Football. Bears will lose against the Lions, but we'll see how they do against the Cowboys and the Raiders. Overall, Vikings are that one team that is just they're not making the playoffs. This coach had a very crazy record, like one possession games. It's like out of the ordinary. Like this guy wins so many one possession games that ordinarily he shouldn't be winning as many one possession games. A little bit of luck, whatever it is kind of padding that record a bit. JJ McCarthy, really? A rookie quarterback on national TV, man. The Bears suck. If they can't win that game, they suck. Okay, just throw it up to Justin Jefferson. Is this guy? Are you going to double him? Are you going to make him throw it up for grabs? And double coverage. So if they're not incompetent, they'll surely have a plan to phase that rookie into lock down the side where Justin Jefferson is. Overall, I have no more further, nothing to add on week 1, and I'm pretty clear what the favorites are going to be for the Super Bowl. Those are the top 3 in each conference. We'll see how it all unfolds. What are the upset games? Imagine if the Chiefs start 0-2. Imagine. Eagles are going to beat the Rams. Okay, if the Rams beat the Texans, they're losing against the Eagles. Week 3. Then we go to Sirianni. You'd be going for a 50th win against Kansas City. You could go for a 51st win against the Rams. So I think the Eagles will beat up on the Chiefs. The Eagles will look like a strong team that's going to go back to back. Pass that torch on Kansas to Philly, and then the Eagles suffer disappointment in the postseason. So, yeah, boring NBA Finals. Free throw merchant clown is being interviewed by Sports Center right now. Clown ass matchup, big giant joke. Hopefully, I'm right about the figures, the game too, figures, the ratings for the series. But who's watching that third quarter? That's going to bring down the average audience viewer. We'll find out tomorrow. I found out about game one like a day after game one, so that's when we should find out about the ratings. Good night, and may all the coverage continue.